In the previous lesson, we talked about how to outreach and recruit your first content creators. But once you get 20 or 30 of them, then you start to have problems with the relationship management. You start to invest a lot of time just in the day-to-day communication with creators. At this point, many people start hiring influencer marketing managers to help deal with those simple day-to-day tasks. But the best brands in the world know how to do this without inflating the team and hiring more people, up to hundreds of creators, which means they have much, much higher return on investment and don't have the overhead of going out and recruiting qualified people. Like we've talked about throughout the series, we want to have long-term relationships with content creators who convert and continue to convert customers over time. This is not a one and done setup. To do that, we basically need to align incentives with creators, which we've already done by agreeing to do a conversion-based payout structure. And then we need to motivate and train them to do better over time, to keep publishing and to publish better and better content about our brand over time. Luckily, you've already taken a performance approach, and paying creators to convert customers means that you have fantastic incentive alignment already. Creators want to earn more money and you want them to convert more customers. It's perfect. Training and motivating your creators isn't really rocket science. It's mostly about teaching them what's working and helping them to earn more money. You want to make them feel like they're a part of something bigger when they're in your ambassador program, and that it's a cool thing to be a little piece of that puzzle. So here are some really easy tactics that we've seen hundreds of customers implement to really start scaling out this program and reduce their labor in relationship management. The first one is implement a quota. You want your creators who are working with you month over month to have a minimum number of conversions they must get per month in order to stay in the program. Of course, if a creator misses that quota, it doesn't mean you have to necessarily get rid of them right away. You can keep them around, see if you can get them back on track, and if not, consider moving that creator out of the program, as it's probably no longer a fit for them. That quota can be as low as like 5 or 10 conversions per month. The important part is that you get creators to do something every single month to keep them engaged. The next one is to implement a newsletter that goes out to your ambassadors every month. That'll remind them that you actually have this relationship where they get paid to convert customers, and you can use it to show them which content worked really well and how they can perform better in the next month. You can create a landing page to help recruit new creators, that's one half, but more importantly, to reduce the number of times you have to answer the same questions to different creators. You can have a short FAQ as well as some content guidelines and other important information, and then just have that in your email signature. Creators are going to see it, and they're always going to know where to go to get the answers to the questions they have without you manually answering them. You could give your top performers a small bonus each month if you have the budget to do so, and then highlight who they were and what kind of content they published, maybe in your newsletter or on your landing page. Make sure you're sharing news and cool updates about your company to keep the creative juices flowing. The more creators have to ideate on how to make content that will illustrate your brand's value prop, the less frequently they're going to post. But if you keep streams of updates coming to them, they're going to have lots of options for how to move forward. Engage with them on social and go above and beyond with your top performers. You can have them involved as models in your other ads, put them on billboards in TV commercials, whatever you can do to get close to them personally and keep them engaged in that program. It's going to pay out dividends in the long term. Last but not least, just to make sure you have a long list of inspiration, there's a million things you can do to reduce your labor here, but I want to give you as many ideas as I can. Congratulate them on important dates like birthdays and so on. Like if you were to call your top performing creators or even some of the middle of the pack and wish them a happy birthday, that's going to show them that you actually kind of care about them as people. They're going to become more invested in your brand and more interested in working with you over time. It's simple, human stuff. A lot of those tactics are going to solve multiple problems. For example, the landing page alone solves like 10 problems. 1, you don't have to answer those repeat questions. 2, your creators always know where to go for content inspiration. You can publish some content guidelines and some top performing pieces there. 3, it'll help you with recruitment. You can set up a little Google form and make it possible for inbound interests to apply through a link, fill out a couple questions, and then you can analyze them in Modash and see if they're a fit for your program. And you can even have some boilerplate legal stuff from your contract illustrated on your landing page so that creators always know how to stay on track with your agreement. Speaking of which, when you strike up a deal with a creator, make sure you get it in writing. If you aren't necessarily able to get a contract laid out and have a lawyer review it and all that sort of thing, at least make it very clear via email what are the terms of the agreement, what have you decided with the creator before they start publishing. You want to make it super clear and make sure the creator understands how much they're getting paid, what the expectations are, what are the content guidelines and staying on brand and all that that stuff. Make it very clear to them and make sure they say yes in big, bold capital letters so you don't have any miscommunications later. Of course, that's not legal advice, so take it for what it's worth. So, to sum it all up, relationship management can become a bottleneck, but doesn't have to. There's so much you can do to overcome it. We got a bunch of ideas in this video already. As long as we keep our incentives aligned and make sure our creators are motivated and trained to convert more and more over time, we're pretty much good to go. Implement a couple of the ideas you heard today, and implement your own ideas that fit your particular problems. Don't hesitate to experiment and try weird stuff. It might just pay off big time. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're building trust with your creators, and we'll see you in the last video in this series on measuring success and optimizing for better results over time. I'm Avery from Modash, and have a lovely day. Ciao.